Welcome to another segment with Dave and myself. And today, first thing in the morning, I'm going to talk about my favorite subject, vaginas. I like vaginas. Yes, I'm a male. I have testosterone. It's not a sexist thing. It's a vagina thing. All right, we're going to talk about vaginas. We're also going to talk about males' organs, the penis.
Just for the record, Tony, I'm with you on this one.
Any male that has a solid set of testosterone flowing through his veins enjoys a good vagina. All of us. Now, some of you women are having problems with the vaginal area. Okay, I can just see my friend now, my other colleague in the alternative. She's going to say, oh my gosh, he's talking about vaginas. Yes, I'm going to talk about vaginas. A lot of you women, all kidding aside, a lot of you women are having problems having sex. You are in a lot of pain. When you have, even to go near the opening, puts you in a lot of pain. And this is not ranging, and I'm not talking older women, you know, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s where there's a little bit of a drying up because of aging. I'm talking about 19, 20s, 30-year-old women, 40-year-old women who should be at the prime of their sexual drive. You know, by the time you get into that mid-20s, early 20s, and then when you get into the 40s, you're a raging hormone, because that's what happens with women when they get into their 40s. You guys are married to women who are in their 40s, hang on to their hips, grab a seatbelt, it's one heck of a ride. But a lot of you are having pain. A lot of you cannot have intercourse, or if you are having intercourse, it is excruciating painful. And some of you who are trying to have babies or make babies are having spontaneous abortions 6 to 8 weeks into the first part of the first 3 months. And so some of you are wondering, what's wrong with you? Why am I having these issues? Okay, and same with the men. Now, you men, a lot of you guys in your 20s, you're not waking up with that tent every morning. You are, you wake up and the tent's not up, and Mr. Happy's not looking at you saying, good morning, Mr. Sunshine. That's happening.
I'm ready for today. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we going to do today?
That's right, exactly. Well, I am ready to rock and roll, strut and stroll. What's happening? It's not happening with you guys. Okay, same thing. You're both genders, and I'm not talking, again, 70 and 80-year-old men. I'm talking 19, 20, 30, 40, because I get emails all the time. Tell them, what do you got for ED? Tell them, what do you got for, giving me a longer, stronger, whatever. I get this all the time. And what's happening is you're being castrated. A lot of you moms who did not vaccinate, having children with autism. Okay? Why is that? You didn't vaccinate the child, but you have a child that is autistic. What is the common theme here? Let's talk about glyphosates. A lot of you think that you have to eat gluten-free, whatever they're telling you in the bullshit in the health food industry, because it's pure bullshit. Gluten would never cause any health issue. We have been eating gluten our whole existence as humans. Never had problems. It wasn't until there was a genetic interference and a chemical additive. Now, all of you who are talking about you're eating your soy, I'm eating my tofu, and my edamame, and my whatever, I'm eating my fermented shit that you call food. Okay, because that's what it is, fermented shit. This food is the most poisonous food on the planet before you altered it. The glyphosates in soy, okay, are so dangerous. It's like a double whammy. When you eat soy, the soy that you're eating today spreads aluminum in the body, number one. Number two, they're spraying nano silver in the soy, which also gets spread in the body. Okay? What's the cause of all this stuff? Glyphosates. Glyphosates. And we're going to give you a list of some of the foods that have it, and the list is extensive. It's huge. It's really huge. We are talking 6 pages of things that have glyphosates. Now, What's the kicker about glyphosates? Why is it all of a sudden women are having these issues? Why is it all? Because it's a slow death. When you moms were pregnant, gestating and producing a child, and you're eating grains, bread, soy, and some of the other foods that have glyphosates, this bypasses the placenta right into the blood, right into the brain. And one of the things this stuff causes is brain damage, thyroid damage. It stops the absorption of 7 key minerals or elements that the body requires. Without copper, you cannot develop a brain. It's what regenerates the connections in the brain, grows new connections in the brain. What does glyphosates do? It takes the copper right out the door. Okay, then you've got zinc. Oh, zinc. Now, all you guys there, you need that zinc. If you want to have that flag flying and it's waving strong, you need zinc. Because what does zinc do? It helps lead you toward testosterone. Now, when you combine zinc and copper together, what do you produce? Superoxide dismutase. It is a very profound antioxidant. Right below glutathione, you have SOD, which protects the glutathione. It protects your body from free radicals. And the highest concentration of SOD is in the lungs and the eyes. How you got floaters? You contact them. Man, I got these floaters. I'm seeing, aliens in my eyeballs. Okay. Or alien material. UFOs are flying in. Alright. Reason being is because your SOD levels are down. Now how do you get rid of them? You increase the sulfur, which is another component that glyphosates take out, and you increase the zinc and the copper in your digestive system. And if you do it properly, you will be amazed at how in a short period of time you'll start clearing them up. Use a saline solution, a salt solution also to help remove this.
We did an eye wash segment.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, and go look at that. Alright, now, I'm going to read some stuff to you. I started off with vaginas because this is what's causing the vaginal. What's happening is this: you're not producing the estrogen because what it does, it's an endocrine disrupting chemical. It was designed to shut down any form of reproduction. So when women, you produce a nitric oxide. Nitric oxide allows estrogens, which allow that vagina to work properly. Now a lot of you women are saying that the inside lining feels very rough, very coarse. It's painful. It's painful to touch. Some of you can't even alleviate yourself through masturbation because it's too painful to touch. Some are saying that the discharge or the fluid, the lubrication that comes out is a hot, fiery lubrication. Some of you can't even touch the area because it puts you in so much pain. And that's what it does, because it's shutting down the estrogen that's required for your bodies to have a healthy reproductive section so that you can have intercourse. Same with the guys. It's blocking the androgens. The androgens is what, testosterone. The highest concentration is the heart. And a lot of you tell, I'm tired, I feel weak, I don't know what's wrong with me. Because your testosterone levels are being bled right out of you. And nobody is touching this in the health industry. We're dancing around saying, oh, gluten-free, you should be gluten-free. Now, the lunacy behind gluten-free is gluten is a protein in every grain. Doesn't matter if you quit eating wheat, it's in something else. It's a protein that your body uses. So gluten is not the issue. And for those of you who have candida saying, well, I got candida, so I'm supposed to eat gluten-free. When you see something saying gluten-free, you better start thinking genetically engineered. Because if I'm taking that gluten out of that grain and feeding you this cardboard or whatever this was left over, I'm just feeding you pure sugar. This is why I tell you all the time, leave the grains alone. There is not one out there that's worth eating. Some say, what about quinoa? What about... Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You're so addicted to this stuff, you guys, and this is what I hear all the time. Well, oh, you're loaded with glyphosates in the colon. Yes, it's loaded. And then you want to eat more stuff to feed it. And it has nothing to do with gluten. This is what I'm saying. This is the lunacy in this industry. Oh, yeah, gluten. Meanwhile, glyphosate back at the ranch
The voice is really doing it for me.
Well, but because this is what I get all the time. You know, I get about 300 emails and YouTubes and every day, and I try to answer everybody. And that's becoming a full-time job. We got to get a studio so we can just do this and not anything else, because this is taking up all the time. Even for my research, I was like, what the hell, you know, answering these people. Anyhow, you are being bamboozled. The health food industry is run by the drug cartel. End of story. Okay? Fish oils. Nobody should be eating that shit. It's just shit. It's leftover shit from the fish industry. That's what it is. And then they say, well, we distilled it, you know, and we took out the mercury. You can't take out the mercury. It's in the fat, and it accumulates. Oh, happy fish oil. Soy. Oh, that's a good one for you. Yeah, it'll protect you from nothing. It'll shut you right down. And then on top of that, we took a poisonous plant, because if you go look up poisonous plant in the database of the FDA, you know, those effing dumbasses, okay, go look up there, because they did the research on this back in the 50s when they had some credibility. And you look up soy, there's over 244 studies showing you how dangerous this shit is. And you, oh yeah, it's in the health food industry. And I'm going to show you something. We're going to go a little off topic. I'm going to show you how they screwed everybody up. Now, this is going to be, we're going to talk about racism on some level here. So don't take this in any way, shape, or form that you have a superiority because of what's happened. Now this is, see, we got even a little high-tech board now.
Oh yeah.
See?
It's
Now we're going to talk suburbs here, because this was a white, or Caucasian, I shouldn't say white, Caucasian, ghetto. That's what suburbs were. Okay, this is your inner city. Okay, this is where the kids with the suntan live. Another ghetto. Now if you notice, they're separate. You notice this? This is what they call a double blind. Now over here, you have the Asian persuasion. Okay, over here, you have the brown race. East Indian, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever, okay? And over here, in the reserve, you have the natives. Now what did they do? Okay, they got everybody here, so you can understand how they divided and conquered the races here, so you can get over this racial bullshit that most of you are believing in. Because it has nothing to do, I can't even believe that in 2015, we still have racial issues that we're dealing with that I'm thinking, didn't we outgrow this? Okay. Here, they were drugged. They had the jobs, they had the money, but what did they do? They debilitated them with drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, okay? In these cultures here, you go to the grocery stores in all the different ethnic cultures, especially the native, okay? And what did they do? They put nothing but endocrine disrupting chemicals in the food. In their grocery stores. Since you didn't get anybody, you know, any major chain here, you had whatever markets here, markets. And for those of you who are of different cultural ethnicities, you can see this. You go to the grocery stores and start reading those labels. I keep telling you, read those bloody labels. Okay, and the natives, basically, they just basically screwed them. They separated them just like they separated the Caucasians, okay? People of color, basically. I'm going to try to keep it in that terminology. It's not a black and white thing. People of color ethnicity. And so what they did is, with the natives, they sent them grains, white breads, white sugars, all these things. And these were all GMO. Okay? In the inner city, GMO. So those of you with the suntan, the real dark suntan, you're getting poisoned with high levels of glyphosates. I'm not used to writing on the board. Glyphosate. Okay? Glyphosates. Now, what did they do to this ghetto, to the white ghetto, or to the colored, I guess the white ghetto? What did they do there? Okay, not only did they drug them, then they got a health food industry here. Health food. And what did they do? They load, because if you go to their grocery stores, and it's not any different today, but you used to go in the grocery stores, you didn't have all these genetic foods or these endocrine disrupting foods. They got it at the health food store with the soy, with the canola, because they were told that was healthy. And then gluten-free. which is glyphosates. Now what happened was everybody's crying racism, racism. Oh, how come they got all this stuff? So they gave it to you. Now you're on the drugs. Now you're eating this shit here. Okay? Now, same thing here. You're doing drugs. Oh. And you don't know what planet you're on half the time because the statins are causing brain damage, causing you to feel a lot of pain, blood vessel damage. You're taking crap for your colon, and it's not really doing anything. You're still feeling like shit. The natives, on the other hand, are isolated. Okay, so now this is what they get. They get to get fracked, which causes, again, genetic anomalies to occur in their food supply, in the fish and in the animals they hunt. Now they're eating GMOs.
What do you mean, how so? By the stuff that comes up to the soil to feed the plants?
What they put into the ground.
Oh, okay, what they flush down.
Yeah.
So even though it's flushed down so far, that's some of that stuff.
Oh, it all comes back up, and not only that, but whatever's below the earth that's toxic is also coming up. In our area here, we've had a situation not too far from here, where they fracked, and all of a sudden the fish were coming out with 3 eyes and extra fins, and they genetically damaged them.
Oh yeah.
Well, all the crap from the farms, the pesticides and the glyphosates they're spraying on the farms, is going into the ground. And one interesting about glyphosates is they don't break down. They don't break down. Period. So what happens is now same thing's going on with the Asians. Okay, we're giving them rice. Oh, the rice, baby. You know, eat your rice. Get it in you. Get it in you. You got too many Asians. We gotta wipe you out. You got too many black people here. We gotta wipe them out. We got too many brown people. We gotta wipe them out. Too many East Indians and Hispanic people. Natives. Oh hell, you're on key property. You guys got resources. We gotta wipe you out. The bank is the guys who's gonna win here. Everybody's fighting with each other about and the bank is the one that comes out on top. Oh, hey, these white people are dead. These brown people are dead. These red people, we can take over their land. Hey, we got some land over here. Look, it's got some oil, diamonds, all that. Come buy it. We got it for sale. Because you're dead. Okay, and that's how they've done it. Now, everybody is on drugs that they don't need. Everyone's getting vaccinated with shit you shouldn't be putting in your body. Nanoparticles, nano delivery mechanisms. And you are loaded with a material that has stripped you down of your body's ability to remain strong and healthy. I just talked to yesterday, somebody called me from North Carolina that does blood testing. She's saying they're finding stuff in the blood they've never seen before. So then I started talking to her about what I've seen with the Morgellons, which, by the way, has also been mislabeled. It's a lot of bullshit. What you're dealing with there is a nanoparticle delivery method of biofilm. This is what you're dealing with. And you're getting it initially from here, because this is stripping down the body, so your body's defense mechanisms are not there. You don't have the copper to protect you from mold, algae, or viruses. Anybody today is telling you not to use copper, tell them they're FOS. You need 10 times the copper that they're suggesting today, because this stuff strips the copper out of your body, which now means you can't metabolize iron. How many of you are having anemia deficiencies because your copper levels are gone? Okay, so it starts from here because you're stripped down. Then they chemtrail you. Hey, we can do the chemtrail thing now. Oh, hey, this actually works.
Something tells me, Tony, you're going to be using this quite a bit more often now.
Maybe. I can't draw worth of shit, but I can illustrate. And I can swear a lot too. I'm good at that. All right, chemtrails. Here's the lines. And the disinformers will tell you, oh, it's just condensation trail. See, if you can see the steam here, that's condensation. See, it goes away. Whoo, gone. But those lines in the sky are above you. And then they spread them. 23 hours later, those particles
I don't know what you're talking about that you can't draw. That's
okay. I'm an illustrator here. That's anybody can do stick art. I'm good at stick art. I can't draw people because it's just, and the only thing I know is just one part of the body anyway. So and I can't draw that because it's illegal. Anyhow, all right. You're breathing that in. Now you're eating these glyphosate-loaded food. What's it doing? The aluminum coming down on you is being spread through your body. up and down, getting in your brain. What does aluminum do for you women? It causes metalloestrogens. Okay, your breast. I don't know if I can do this or not. I don't know how to do this now without looking weird. Okay, I'm just going to draw one. Okay, there's your breast. You have receptor sites in the breast. Down here, your ovaries send a signal to the brain. Brain. Send me some estrogen, send me some progesterone. And it says, okay, brain says, okay, whoop, okay, to hormones. So now it comes here and goes down, and you're healthy. And you can tell when you've had an estrogen release because your breasts are pumped. Okay, they're pumped, they're a little bit more firmer, whatever. And then within a day, they sort of, sag a little bit, which is normal. That means you've used whatever. Now, if I'm adding aluminum to it, what happens is the aluminum gets into the hormone, and it's like it turns on the switch. On. Okay, switch. Indicating you've got an estrogen. So now when your estrogens come down, it says, oh, it's already full. So now it leaves. Meanwhile, you've got metal poisoning. That's what happens. Now with you guys, okay, same principle, except you don't have breast. You have testicles and other parts of you. Same thing happens. The testicles send, and then when you have enough estrogen, before I go on, this one says, okay, we got enough. And the brain says, okay, shut up. This is a Coles Notes version. Now, if you don't go from estradiol to estriol to estriol, if you don't get here, and this sticks around, and this sticks around, you've got a problem. Now for the male, it's the same thing, okay? Where is this here?
Just to clarify, when you said it leaves, does it get excreted or just
excreted?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the liver processes it and pulls it out.
Okay.
Okay. I mean we got a redundancy, or we got a feedback loop that same with the guys. So you guys, you got a testicle says, okay, send your hormones, send your testosterone. Okay, get it down there. So what happens is the brain says, okay. So now the other one says, okay, stop. We've got enough. No problem. But what happens here, the prostate, okay, instead of having zinc, which again regulates the testosterone on the receptor sites, the same kind of thing happens. You have a receptor, but now instead of having testosterone, you have aluminum, which produces estrogen, and then you wonder why your T levels are down. That's from the chemtrails. Yay, chemtrails. Okay. Now, your homework assignment is going to be, I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to watch Chemtrails, The Secret War. I'm going to write that down, because I know people are going to forget this. Now.
It's okay, Tony. I can do a title at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it here so that it embeds.
Okay.
Okay, chemtrails. The secret.
Can you watch it for free on the internet?
Yeah. I want Secret War. And it's by an Italian research group called VO. Okay, watch it. This, by far, in my humble opinion, is probably one of the best illustrations of what chemtrails are. They even did the studies for all of you purists who think the orgasmically organic is so healthy for you. They have found 23 chemicals from the sky on the crop. Okay, you're going to have to start doing your own indoor grow up. I don't think we have 2 years, and we're going to be in famine.
Do you remember when early on we did I think it was a grapeseed extract. We did a wash.
Yeah.
Would that help in this situation, or are these things that are so embedded that it's too hard to get rid of?
It's extremely embedded. If you have an ocular, remember we showed you the ocular to give you the challenge?
Yeah.
Take that with you and go look at your fruit. Just look at the apples. You must peel everything. Okay, everything. The research on nano silver, because they're spraying this shit on the food, is that when they spray nano silver on anything, they did it with pears. They soaked the pears for 4 days and they couldn't get it out of the skin. So you got the chemtrails right off the bat. You should be peeling. And someone says, well, isn't the peel the best part? Not no more. It's protecting the inside meat of the fruit, but it's still getting contaminated, so you must peel them. Now, if you got vegetables and stuff, what I'm using now is borax, trisodium phosphate, or some acid, mild acid to strip it. If you look at your produce, you look at your fruit, your apples, your pears, your peaches, you're going to see the wonderful gift they gave you. If you're looking at an apple...
You're talking with the ocular?
Yeah, with the ocular. 60x is all you really need. Okay? You're going to see... that. You might even be able to see it just from looking at it, just the spotted thing. But when you look at it up close and personal, you're going to see metallic things in the skin. You're eating that. Okay, you're eating that. You're giving it to your kids. Someone's going to say, well, what are we going to eat? Food. But you're going to be smart. You're going to neutralize that. You're going to peel it. You're going to peel it. These guys that are doing all this, they're playing for keeps, and they're banking on the fact that you are going to be stupid. There is no question. They're going to bank on this. You're going to keep, oh, there's a deal here on this. And the other thing too, okay, really read where your stuff's coming from. Okay, I'm going to get on back to this again. I mean, but this is really important. This is really important. All right. Endocrine disrupting chemicals, glyphosates. Okay, glyphosates. This is what they're feeding you, feeding all of us. All right. An assessment of the state of science and endocrine disruptors was prepared by the United Nations Environment Program and the World Health Organization by a group of approximately 50 experts and 30 scientists. The authors outlined current evidence, a high incidence, increasing trends of many endocrine-related disorders in humans. Observations of endocrine-related effects in wildlife populations, because this affects aquatic, mammalian, and human. Okay. Identification of the chemicals with endocrine disrupting properties linked to disease outcomes in laboratory studies. And let me read what they found. This is a goodie. Okay, increase in low semen quality in young men up to 40%. Some of you guys can't even produce that anymore. Incidence of genital malformation has increased over time. Males, if you moms have done the, what do you call that there, where they can scope you to see what kind of baby you have, male or female? Ultrasound.
Ultrasound, yeah.
You've done the ultrasound, and you know the gender of your sex. I mean, you shouldn't be eating soy or anything soy anyway. Okay, but if you have a male, you run the high risk of causing genital malformation of his development. Do not eat soy. Do not eat anything that's highly estrogenic, especially if you're carrying a young male. Adverse pregnancy outcomes and birth defects has increased in many countries. I talked to women who have not vaccinated and still wound up with children with autism. That's what caused it. When a woman is carrying a baby, the glyphosates are being consumed with the grains and the cereals and the rices and the pastas. What happens is it gets by the placenta and again destroys the child on every level and on its development. And then what happens is when it comes out, then you're told by the medical establishment to get a vaccine. The vaccines, and we've done a video on vaccines, just go look at the humidifier video, and after watching that video, if you still believe that putting sheep blood, monkey genes, chicken part, washed sheep blood. What was I thinking? No, washed sheep blood. Chicken parts, cow parts.
I think pig fetus.
Yeah, pig fetus. Ooh, pig fetus.
I thought so.
Yeah, a lot of days, and you Muslims and you Jews will love that. Pig fetus is being pumped in you. You know, the Quran says pig is haram, and for you Jews, it's unclean food, and we're just bypassing the whole oral cavity, just putting it right in and putting those pig genetics inside your body. Yay! Violation of your particular belief systems. In the name of protecting you. It's good for you. Have that pig. All right. All these things that are in there, and it's not just that they're in there, they're alive. This is not dead culture. This is alive. And they're using nano. to deliver this. This is such a lethal thing because nanoparticles don't come out of your body. Contrary to what they tell you, this nano dumping that we were talking about earlier, the chemtrails, doesn't come out. It gets lodged in the brain. It gets lodged in the lungs. It gets lodged in the spleen. It gets lodged in the liver. It gets lodged in the blood. Oh, have some nano silver. It's good for you. Take your 10 parts, and this is another pile of rubbish. They're selling nano silver and calling it 10 parts per million. It should be 10 parts per billion. Big difference in the size of the particle. Now let me explain that too, because this is part of the poison, because it's in the food. All right. Just to show you what happens when you're eating or ingesting these nano components. This is your cell. Dun, dun, dun. You got an opening there and there. Okay, what happens with a nanoparticle? It gets inside, but it's not one nanoparticle. It's a cluster. This gets into the cell. Okay? It kills the cell through oxidation. It uses those proteins that's left over to replicate, to self-replicate. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. It's a program. These are programmable particles, and they have a program and an agenda. Remember the Borg? We are Borg. We're here to assimilate you. Well, when you look at that, if you look at that Star Trek Generation series, the Borg was a cubicle. And the Star Trek, I don't know how to do this circle thing here and whatever. Okay, we're firing beams, modulating beams at this thing. That's Rife. They're showing you on TV. Rife technology, attacking an integrated nano, or biotech. Because the Borg was a combination of human and machine. Google, if you go look at Google, they bought out Motorola, and DARPA is on Google. DARPA. And DARPA states that they were trying to integrate software, humans, with hardware, technology. So what did they do? They came up with a pill that you swallow, which is activated by hydrochloric acid in the stomach, which turns on your cell phone or your computers or whatever. So it's integrating you with your technology, which means that now you are also being read. You are now having a two-way interface. Well, the Borg, okay, the Borg, or Borgellans, see how there was a little play on the word there, was to assimilate what's happening here. Assimilation. Integrating between hardware and software. And they showed it to you through entertainment. Isn't that lovely? That's what they showed you. Some of you are going to say, wow. Some of you say, oh, you're full of pfft. You cannot kill Morgellons or Borgellons with Rife. If you've seen on this series, they hit this thing with several different types of modulations, caused minor damage, but then it rebounded back, repaired itself, regenerated itself. If you attack the Morgellons in a direct way to cause it to self-destruct or to become destructive, it will flourish in your body. In fact, you'll spread it. If you run an electrical charge through your body, if you run a zapper through your body, you will spread it. You'll spread like wildfire. And I talked to somebody on that as well who did the blood analysis, and they said the same thing. After they zapped somebody, the thing took off.
So, I mean, we're talking about particulates that
have a program.
That are programmed, but we're not talking about a live organ.
Here we are. We're talking about biofilm. This is okay. Here, let's look.
So I guess the whole point of what I was going to say is, how is it replicating itself? Because I understood smart dust and things to be something that may be metallic, something that's non-living.
No, okay, it's both.
It could be programmed, but that still doesn't mean it's living. Yeah. So how does it replicate?
It's got both. It's like just like how does a virus replicate?
But what does it replicate with? Like if you don't,
you're the raw material. You're providing the protein. You're providing the glucose. You're providing the electrical energy. You're the battery that it's required. Okay, when they talk about chemtrails, okay, these are self-replicating nanoparticles, which are carrying biofilm. If they're low flying, they're going to have pathogens. If they're high flying, they're basically geoengineering. See? We do not consent to geoengineering. Hell no, you gotta go. That's how it is. Now, when you look at a polymer, okay, this is what's carrying these pathogens, okay, and they're encased in some kind of nanometal. You gotta remember, these things work exactly like a virus. They spread like a virus. They get charged, okay? They get inside the cell. They use those proteins again to build more a polymer base, and they keep on growing. They're getting hit with it from the ground, with the food, and you're getting hit with it from the air. So all this nano stuff that they're selling you in the health food stores actually is used as raw material for this stuff to self-replicate. If you do the actual research on the chemtrails, or the particles in the chemtrails, they're programmed to continue to perpetuate and spread. They don't stop. So when we're talking glyphosates, okay, that's step one. Shut you down. Step two is to poison you. Don't you feel like a cockroach or a rat? We're feeding you poison so that we can shut down your capacity to reproduce. Isn't that what we do to insects? Here we feed the ants, or we feed some cockroach some kind of chemical, so then when I go back to the hive, they die, and then the rest of the hive feeds on them, and then all of a sudden they can't make babies. You ever feel like a cockroach being stepped on really hard? Number two, then we aerosol you. Ever have any flies or flying insects and you shh, or you go along the walls of your house shh, and you're being sprayed, or you're spraying these bugs to get them out of your house? Don't you feel like a bug being sprayed? Then the third thing that gets it going, smart meters. Now this is an oxymoron, because this really turns everybody into stupidity, okay? Because what's happening is at 3 a.m., I don't care what time zone you're in, this is the unique thing about it. These guys are kind of dumb. They did the same thing right across the planet. 3 a.m., nobody can sleep. Because that's when the smart meter activates and sends a pulse through you. Now what's that doing? That pulse is hitting that nanoparticle, sending it instructions and programs. So now it's like da da da, da da da. And at 3 a.m., between 2, I'm running out of room here. I gotta get a big board.
We can take a sledgehammer to the wall, Tony.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Right after this one.
Okay. Now, between 2 and 4 a.m., you produce something called GH, growth hormone. Growth hormone is regenerating or body or anabolic which means building, okay, between 2 and 4. Now, if your sleep has been disrupted, this doesn't happen. Can't regenerate properly. So what happens is these poisons and these frequencies, wave, hey, I can do the wave here. Okay, and these foods work in concert.
Sorry, I was trying to get a look at your wave design.
Oh, my wave? Hold on.
There you go.
My wave. All right, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Okay, now So, because a lot of you contact me and say, "Dave, you've had some of this stuff for 20 years. Now you see how it's happening." Remember I showed you a little display earlier about the different ethnic groups? You know, you had the ghetto for the Caucasians, the ghetto for the inner city, the ghetto for the brown people, the ghetto for the red man, the ghetto for the Asians. That's how it's done. First, we load you up like a cockroach. Here, eat this. Shut this down. Whoop. Hey, it's not working. Okay. Then you're feeling all achy and painful, and then you got all these health issues that go on, and you go see a doctor, and what does he do? He gives you a drug that gives you another 30 side effects. Oh, that's not nice of him. Her. All right. Early onset, okay, we're going back to the glyphosates again. Okay, endocrine-related cancers, breast, endometrial, ovarian, prostate, testicular, thyroid cancers. This all has to do with iodine being taken out of the body. All these ovarian issues you have, ovarian cysts, and cervical problems, and vaginal problems, and testicular problems, that's iodine. And I keep telling you, iodine is divine. That's what you should be using. This will also get some of this crap out. Okay. Early onset of breast development by young girls, which leads to breast cancer because their bodies are not ready for that kind of physiology or chemistry. They didn't get enough chance. It's like a tree having fruit too big for the branch, it just breaks. Same kind of thing. They don't have a chance to develop, to have the foundation required to carry the reproductive organs and to sustain life. The earlier they start to menstruate or bleed, the quicker they die, kind of thing. If the maturity or development of the child is later, that means that the body's had a chance to have the foundation to sustain life. Okay, it doesn't bleed. How many women have had babies and all of a sudden you've got nothing left? Teeth are falling out, and you're weak, and you've got pain, and you feel like your insides are ready to fall because your system was depleted because of this. Now. Main toxic effects of glyphosates: kills beneficial gut bacteria. I almost forgot about that. This thing is so dangerous, it literally flushes out all the healthy bacteria. Woo! And then you wonder why you can't remember who you are. What's my name? Why did I come in this room for? What was I doing? What were we talking about? You know, I get this all the time. I had a woman come in the other day and she says, she's talking to me, and says, I can't finish a sentence because I can't remember, because this stuff kills the bacteria here. Okay, and without that bacteria, you cannot absorb B12, folic acid, B1, B3, choline, and what is required for the brain? B1. All those B's I just mentioned. Now, what does glyphosate protect? It protects salmonella. Oh, salmonella, yes. Protects all the negative bacteria. So when you guys are doing the STS that we did another video on, this is why I'm telling you, you gotta put fermented foods back in, like yogurts and kefirs and cottage cheese, because that regenerates, first, the damage that's been done to the colon. Secondly, it puts the bacteria in the colon so that you can absorb those nutrients and those supplements. Okay, this is taking it out. If you look up glyphosates, and you can go on my webpage, we have a glyphosate link on the augmentinforce.50webs.com webpage. Look it up. I had to stop the research at 60 pages. This thing was taking me right to the doors of hell. I mean, it was one thing after another, and I'm like, holy, how does the FDA, I mean, what science did they use to justify the okay of this thing? This is bio-warfare on a global level. You don't have to fire a missile. Just feed people. They're saying that the population in Europe is down like on almost every country, 1.3 on the birth. China. Oh, China. Yes, China. The Chinese are going to be probably the sickest population on the planet. Okay? What the United States took 30 years to achieve, China did it in 10. Surpassed the United States in almost every illness going: diabetes, obesity, cancers, and then they had the gall to come out that says meat causes cancer to colon. No, meat doesn't cause cancer to colon. I should be loaded with it because I eat meat. I eat chicken. I eat all these. Doesn't cause cancer. But what does cause cancer is glyphosates. Okay, and it completely kills the colon. And when you're loading it with soy, because it's a cheap food, and we got to export that to China, right? I mean, we're the largest exporter to China. So you don't have to fire a missile at China, just feed them. What they reached by 2010, they had 300 million people. 300 million. That's the equivalent of the United States population that were sick or diseased with all the health conditions of glyphosates. And that was back in 2010. By now, they should be around 600 million. Their whole GNP in the next probably 5 years is all going to go toward treating the sick that they have in their country. Okay, that's what's going on. And the East Indians, they don't want to have nothing to do with the Monsantos or any of these guys, because they see what's going on. All right. Interferes with the function of the digestive system, the cytochrome P50, chelates important minerals. This thing pulls out of you calcium, magnesium, potassium, manganese, copper, zinc, iodine, sulfur. It even disrupts your cholesterol. All these idiots, these doctors, here, have a statin. They're just killing you with this thing. This thing kills the DNA. This should not be a prescribed drug. All right, interferes with the amino acids, especially methionine, the sulfur. You need that sulfur. Without sulfur, you can't methylate a lot of things you're using. And without sulfur, you cannot clean out this crap that you're being hit with, these particulates. Okay. Some biomarkers for autism, disrupted gut bacteria because of the glyphosates. Okay, in the bowels, low serum sulfur, again. Okay, without that, you can't convert a lot of things. Methionine deficiency, serotonin and melatonin deficiency. Boom. See, Dave here. Dave is becoming a God-fearing man. I'll tell you why.
There we go.
He is on his knees every night saying, "Oh God, you didn't send the instruction manual with this child you gave me.
How do we get him to sleep?
How do we get him to sleep? There's no manual here, God. You know, I mean, what did you do to me? You sent me a gift and don't tell me how to, you didn't give me the instructions and how to make it work." So now Dave is praying for the instruction manual. Please send it down quick. All right. Serotonin and melatonin deficiency. That's why some of your kids can't sleep, because while you were pregnant with them, you were eating these glyphosate-loaded foods. So now the brain chemistry hasn't developed properly. Okay. Zinc, iron, and vitamin D deficiency. You know, they're getting you all taking all this synthetic vitamin D and taking 10,000 IUs. Don't take 10,000 IUs of any kind of vitamin D. That is absurd today. Clean the glyphosates out of the system. You don't need to be taking that much. I don't even push vitamin D. I push vitamin A. I think that's the one we should be really taking, not this D. I think the D, because I had one guy taking so much vitamin D, it actually stopped his heart for 2 minutes. He was dead for 2 minutes. So I'm not a big, I mean, for the winter months, if you're in an area where you have winter, 1 to 2,000 IUs a day, and use a lot of butter. Even mix it with butter for it to absorb better. But to take 10,000, 20,000 like these idiots are promoting, they're crazy. Again, this is the medical people getting involved. They don't have a clue, but here, take 10,000, 20,000, take 100,000. What the hell? You'll be dead faster. Okay. High serum nitrate and ammonia, which causes, again, brain function now. This one, impaired immune function. You're always sick, all of you. I'm sick. I don't know what's wrong. I think I'm doing the right thing. I'm eating the right stuff. And he said, "Are you eating any bread?" Oh yeah, I'm eating whole wheat. I'm eating whole grain. I'm eating orgasmically organic. Chronic low-grade inflammation in the brain. There's the glyphosates. And they don't tell you, it's on the label. Oh. How come? How come that's not listed? Because you can't get it out. It's in the food. Glyphosates increases aluminum in the bloodstream. Oh, we need our daily dose of aluminum. Without it, we cannot become robots. I mean, seriously, we need that aluminum. Have your daily dose of aluminum. All right. When you're looking at, you go on my webpage, you can see the article. It's there. We have a glyphosate link on that page. Go look it up. It impairs the bioavailability of tryptophan, which you need for sleeping, or the serotonin and methionine. I mean, You need to take things in your body like magnesium, some calcium, and things that actually will chelate the excess aluminum out of the body. Using Epsom salt baths, like with magnesium sulfate, you have a win-win there, because not only are you getting the magnesium, which flushes the aluminum out, you're also getting the sulfur. So use these things. You'd be surprised what you'll see floating in the water if you do it enough. Let me see here. Now, there is a way to detoxify it in the soil. And I also put that information in the link to do the same thing. The big key is replacing the bacteria in the system and replacing those key minerals in the bacteria so that your system can, again, rebuild. You have to remember the candidas and everything that's going on out there is because it's trying to protect the body from things that are not supposed to be there or that you're overloaded with. And because you don't have the healthy bacteria in the colon, you're trying to kill a candida that shouldn't be there because of this imbalance. So this is one of the reasons why you can't get rid of the bloody thing, because you keep on loading up with stuff that feeds it. So, let's see here, what else? Oh, I got more here. Oh. I'll wrap it up with this so that you can get the gist of what's going on. We laid a lot of stuff on you. I know we're going to get a lot of controversy here. We're going to get all the disinformers come from the agrochemical industry. They're going to come on the page and hit us, and they're going to get all the chemtrail idiots coming on. Oh, you're full of bull and all this. And don't listen to these asshole people. Don't listen to these people. Seriously, they are there. For those of you sitting on the fence who don't know basically your backside from your front side, they are there to keep you stupid. You know, take a chance. Walk on the wild side. Open your eyes. Seriously, take the blue pill. Go forward. Or the green pill. Take the green pill. Go forward. Take the red pill. Go back to sleep if you're not interested. You know, and for those of you who are going to try this disinforming nonsense, it ain't going to work with me. Okay. This, anybody can research and get the same feedback response that I'm getting. So don't think for 1 minute that I made this. I can't make this up. This was mind-boggling. All right. Glyphosates has until recently been considered a low health risk. Again, who determined that one? I don't know. Anyhow. However, levels of cytotoxicity and genotoxicity, genetics, your genes, which turn everything on. You know, hey, turn on the brain. Hey, my brain's turned on. Okay. Glyphosates occurring in human cells suggest that its mechanism and action is not limited to plant cells. It transfers to whatever eats it. So those of you who are saying to me, I'm vegan, you're getting 100 and 1,000% of this. Loaded with it. That's why some of you are so erratic, so emotionally imbalanced when I talk to you, and you look like hell, most of you. Someone says, well, I've seen this 15-year-old, and she looks like a hottie. She just probably became a vegan. So basically your body's in a detox mode, because that's what vegan does. It detoxes the body. To live on it, like I said, you'd have to be an idiot. A vegetarian, on the other hand, again, makes more sense. You're getting your proteins in your body. You're getting your taurine from your protein sources, whether it be from yogurt, eggs, or dairy products or fish products that you may eat. I don't have a problem. You don't want to eat red meat, but you have to have some kind of animal protein in you. Whether it's from dairy, and everyone says, you shouldn't be drinking dairy because we're the only species on the planet that drink dairy. There are cultures on the planet that live on dairy, and they live up to about 80 or 90 years old without any issues. It's not until you combine glyphosates with the healthy bacteria from unpasteurized milk or fermented dairy that you have that reaction, because what it's doing is trying to get inside to regenerate, and there's a fight going on. You know, the glyphosates say, no, this is my territory, get up, you know, and they fight inside. So then you have a reaction, think I have a dairy intolerance. No, you have a poison that's been laying in your system since this high, and it's accumulated. It doesn't break down. It doesn't break down in nature, it won't break down in you unless you flush it out somehow. All right. Studies on human cells show toxicity and hormone disruption at sub-agricultural levels with effects within 24 hours, caused by concentrations as low as 0.5 parts per million. That's like nothing. And DNA damage at 5 parts per million. You're loaded with this stuff. Oh, I'm grabbing this, and this. Give me some soy. Give me some rice. Give me some bread. Oh yeah, let's put it in me. Here, get it in. Oatmeal and all the cereals. You know, get it in, way in. This is what happens. You know. Another work clearly confirms that the additives in commercial glyphosate formulations are not inert. In other words, they're not dormant. Okay. Moreover, the proprietary mixtures available on the market could cause cell damage and even death around residual levels to be expected from agricultural use, especially in food and feed. It doesn't matter what form of diet you're on. Doesn't matter. You're getting it. Okay. The exposure of children to glyphosate should be avoided. Here, have a Twinkie. Here, have a fast food. We're going where? We're going to Taco Land. Let's get that corn thing going. Let's get that rice going. Oh, we're going to the Asian restaurant. Ooh, you know. Let's go to the Italian. Let's get that pasta in ya. Pasta. Hey. I miss pasta. I really do. Anyway, animal studies have shown that commercial formulation of glyphosates is a potent endocrine hormone disruptor causing disturbances in reproductive development when the exposure was during the puberty period. They're getting it while they're inside now. And then you gotta come out and say, here, we got a needle for your child. We're gonna put some more nanoparticled live culture in your system. Then you wonder why the child is going all the time, you know. It'd be like Dave praying to God, God, please send the instruction manual. No, anyway.
Still waiting for the download.
Yeah. You didn't send it, what happened? Alright, pregnant women are also at risk, as others have found that glyphosate exposure from commercial preparations can affect human reproduction and fetal development in case of contamination, and you're all contaminated with it. In Sweden, exposure to glyphosate pesticide is considered a risk factor for non-Hodgkin lymphoma cancer. Yay! It induces cancer in the lymphatic system. Oh, hey, that's what we need. More! Give us more! Yay! Okay. Don't you feel like a bug? You know, being aerosoled or sprayed and eating the, you know, food poisoning and then getting pulse so everything gets activated. Okay. Investigate.
Painting such a beautiful picture.
Well, yeah, I gotta paint the picture because everybody's still sitting there watching Walt Disney. Oh, there's Mickey Mouse. You know, there's another occultic thing going on. Oh, you know. Oh, it can't be that bad. The government will protect us. The government's what's doing it to you. Anyway, I should say banks, because that's who runs the governments today. Anyway, it's all the banks. I got too many of you there. Too many brown people. Gotta get rid of them. Too many Caucasians. Gotta get rid of them. Too many Asians. Gotta get rid of them. Too many suntan colored people. Gotta get rid of them. Too many red people. Gotta get rid of them. The red people got some land. Oh wait, we got a reservation. It's got some diamonds and all. We gotta get rid of them people. Oh, let's feed them some glyphosate.
Start there.
Start there. Yeah, we got the example. We got the template. We put the Caucasians in their own little white ghetto, and we poisoned them to hell. And then everybody else wanted what they got. Oh, that's discrimination. They got everything. Okay, you want the drugs? We'll give you the drugs. We'll keep it equal. We'll kill you too. That's what they did. All right. Investigation of human brains and acute lethal glyphosate poisoning show extensive bilateral damage to the brain, brainstem, and white matter. Oh. You know, I'm trying to make this somewhat entertaining, trying to take the edge of how dangerous this is, but you're getting the message, I hope. There has been several reports of exposure to glyphosate spraying causing secondary Parkinson's disease. And what's happening to a lot of the older people? They can't remember. Then you got to get them on a nootropic. Then you got to get them on saturated fat. Then you got to get them on wheat germ oil. And then you got to get this shit out of the body, because that's what it is. There's no other word for it. Shit. You know.
So, in your opinion, it's reversible?
Oh yeah, you can pull this out. But this is not your normal chelating component. Okay, when you're talking nano does not work the same as base metal. Never did. Now I got a nano data link on my webpage to validate what I'm telling you there too. It doesn't work. It doesn't work the same way. So getting this stuff out is going to be a chore, because this is designed to embed itself or translocate itself into your cells. Now, if you can negatively ion charge your cells, your fat cells, you can actually repel this thing. So we're going to show you something about maybe grounding in another video. All right. Glyphosate showed a half-life of 4.2 days in water. It was observed that glyphosate produced a long-term shift in water systems, turning clear waters to turbid. Really? polluted. Glyphosates is persistent for long periods and on soils and may cause surface water pollution. Its breakdown is dependent on bacteria in the soil. Rotting poison vegetation will increase soil loads. So every time they harvest the stuff and they leave whatever's on the ground, it actually makes the stuff stronger. And since it's an antibacterial, guess what? The soil can't break it down. Isn't that interesting? So it's being layered. So all of these farmers, they need to really wake up on this. Everybody needs to tell these agrochemical companies, go home. Go home, ET. Get in your ship, take your little chemicals, and leave. Because they're not doing anybody any favors. Part of the bee population dying is not just the nicotinides that they're spraying. That's also contributing it. But when you look at the chemtrail fallout and all that aluminum that's being spread on these plants, which they're taking in because they're spraying these glyphosates in the soil, that's also killing the bees. What's happening when the aluminum gets into the bee? You know, doesn't know where it's going. Basically, you've turned bees into an Alzheimer or Parkinson's victims because they're loaded with aluminum. And you know what? Without bees, birds, or bats, and butterflies, you have famine. Keep that in mind. Glyphosates, okay, hold on here. Okay, here. Glyphosates is persistent for long periods of time. Soils and may cause surface water pollution. Its breakdown is dependent on bacteria in the soil. Rotting, okay. Absorption of herbicides in plants delays or subsequent soil degradation, and particularly glyphosate persistence in soil, which would increase 2 to 6 times. Anybody want to go get some organic? Organic? And someone says, well, they're not. They're spraying it on everything. On your wheat, whether it's organic or not. Corn, whether it's organic or not, they're spraying it. So if anybody's telling you that this is organic, bullshit. You're getting whatever. It has been shown that the aquatic wetland communities can be dramatically impacted by low concentrations of pesticides from runoff, including glyphosates, both separate and combined. The fish are even getting affected by this. Now, this is a list. Do I got more here? No, that's something else. Okay. This is a list. I think it's about 6 pages long. Okay, well, this is part of that one too. This is a list of all the things. This is a small list of all the foods that have glyphosates. We're talking alfalfa, almonds, aloe vera, animal feed, artichoke, asparagus, avocado.
Jeez.
They left no stone unturned. If you are of an ethnic background and you eat specific ethnic type foods, whether you're, again, Hispanic or Baltic or Mediterranean or Northern European, it has been sprayed. I guarantee you, it has been sprayed. It has been used, to do whatever. So whether you're Asian or whatever, I mean, star fruit, I like star fruits, but you got to peel everything. Peel everything. If you can't wash it off, peel it off. Start growing, and I'm always of the mindset, I hate just telling you bad news, not giving you any kind of hope, because I don't believe in that. I'm not one of these guys that said, the sky is falling, buy some soy. The sky is falling, buy this. This guy, because it's not going to help you. Okay? When we're telling you these things, first thing you should be looking at is your own grow-up, whether it's through aquaponics, hydroponics, pot gardens. Grow some pot if you want. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's one of the more beneficial things. Whatever, a vertical garden, go look up vertical gardens. There's a fellow out in California that actually developed this. Genius, pure genius. The guy, watch it, learn. There's a guy in Ohio. He's another fellow there. You know, he's another one of those, people of color. Some of you have a problem with that. Built a warehouse with aquaponics. The guy is a genius. Watch him. Okay, watch him. Get over whatever you think you have an attitude with people. Get over the religious bullshit. Get over the so-called spiritual separation, the political separations, the ethnic separations. This guy and these foods are killing all of us. Okay, you don't have the luxury of being racist or prejudicial. Not today. Not in today's time. You never did. That's something, again, that the banks did this divide and conquer. You're being killed. Okay, so what do? First, you're going to have a grow up. Grow your own stuff. Start with carrots and potatoes and beets, things that you can, onions, leeks, chives. Okay, these are sulfur. These things have iron. These things have minerals, nutrients. Real 95 to 100% absorption rather than 5% that you're buying at the store. Number one. Number two, okay, learn to use bacteria to help clean this up. Mix your B vitamins, especially the ones for the brain. Folic acid. Folic, I'll write this down because people are going to say, what the hell did you say? Because obviously they can't understand me because I speak Canadian. I don't know how that works, but anyhow. Dave, I've become a bored man here.
You're loving this thing.
Well, it's making life a little easier. Okay, bacteria. Cottage cheese, yogurt, sour cream, kefir. What am I going to say? I got a dairy intolerance. Quit eating the bloody grain. It will go away. Yogurt. Kefir. Yaslanka. Those of you from the Baltic here, I think I spelled that one wrong, but anyway, close enough. Cottage cheese, ricotta, cheese. Now, with these here, add B1. Put niacinamide here. But I want you. This is B3, B12. Folic acid, choline, and inositol. Mix it together. Okay? Mix it together with these, and then allow them to sit overnight on the counter so that the ferments can ferment and break this stuff down. Alright? So that the next day, when you first thing in the morning, what you do is you drink this. So all of a sudden you say, hey, the brain says, I have something here, I'm alive. Give it to your kids. Okay, give it to your kids. Don't listen to anybody's bullshit on the dairy. Tell them people to go take a long walk off a short dock with an anchor, because they're not doing anybody any good. Go have your pea protein and your hemp and soy protein and your rice, and keep loading yourself up with estrogens if that's what you really want. This is what you need. Okay, this is what you need. Using sulfur. MSM, garlic, onion, leek, chive, alpha-lipoic acid, glucosamine sulfate, Epsom salt. And if you can't read that, that's hieroglyphics. Cuneiform.
That's what the Egyptians were all writing about.
That's why nobody could read. What the hell did they say there?
Is that Epsom salt? No, that can't be.
Yeah, Epsom. Yeah. Even use that orally. STS. Okay, STS. Because these things are going to help these things convert as well and be utilized. Okay. These things are going to start pulling this shit out of you. This stuff is going to pull the stuff out of your lungs, you know, the aerosoling. This is going to pull it out of your liver. It's going to start pulling it out of your cells. Okay? Avoid nano. Now, there is a website. You know what's going to happen, Dave? They're going to say, I couldn't see the board.
There's only a few certainties in life, Tony, and I think that's one of them.
What's that?
What's that?
What's that?
That you're going to get questions
about.
Oh, no,
yeah. no.
Comments.
I couldn't see what the hell did you say? I couldn't understand you. Why is Dave talking when you're talking? Oh, you get all these other ones. Dave is part of this. What the hell's wrong with you people? But anyhow.
Oh, yeah, they don't like when I'm talking?
No, they say, sometimes I'm talking and you're throwing at questions. Why is David talking? Because he's supposed to. He's got to help me, you know, so I'm not carrying this. It's good that he talks, you know. One day he got me laughing before we even started the dangerous videos. You know, lighten the load. All right, this thing walks, man. I think it's alive. I think this is one of those nano things that are alive moving.
some sort of smart tripod or whatever you got there.
Bloody alien, get out of here. No. All right. What was we going to do next? All right. So you got.
You're going to list the website.
Oh yeah. 1,600 consumer products with nano. Because this is all part of the glyphosate thing. This is all integrated. Don't even assume for 1 minute that they are separate. They're not. One is a delivery of the other. And when you're talking more gallons, and for those of you who have the more gallons, I'm going to show you something about taking a little bit of aspirin, a little bit of copper, and applying it to the skin, and you're going to feel relief. You're going to think God came down and touched you because you'll feel so much good. But with nano, this stuff incorporates plus biofilm. They are together. Don't even assume for 1 minute that they're not. Whoever would tell you that is SFOS. Be plain simple. And what triggers all this? It starts at the food. That's why all of a sudden one day you wake up, you're fine, the next day you have an outbreak. Because this has eventually saturated you, and the little stuff from the sky has finally saturated you. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have wires growing out of it, but you will see lesions form. Geometrical patterns form. That's because these two work in concert. And they self-replicate. We are Morgellons. We're here to assimilate you. Okay? That's what's going on. So look that up and see how you're being sabotaged.
Oh, so you don't have a specific website to go look up?
They can look this up. You just type that in and takes them right to this thing. Okay. And they'll be seeing how their clothing, their socks, their underwear, hey, putting underwear right next to the genitals, and all of a sudden you're absorbing nanoparticles. Hey, I like that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's antibacterial. Poof, gone. I had something there once. What happened? I wore this underwear and it's all gone now. Okay. Okay, look it up. Seriously, look it up. Now, that's how you do it. You start at the basics, okay? Learn to make your own stuff. Learn to formulate your own stuff, okay? The ginger, onion, and grapefruit one that we did, that will help tremendously. Cleaning the blood and everything. Life is in the blood. These things are trying to take over our blood. You need to renew the blood. You need to flush the blood. One of the simplest things we showed you is the blood tonic. Cleaning and juicing greens is another one we showed you on the video. Okay. Any enzymes you utilize to help break this stuff down, by all means. Pancreatic enzymes, serrapeptase, use them. I find that serrapeptase, again, small amounts throughout the day work better than one big, large, humongous amount. A lot of the issues you're having, tied to that. Anything else?
I think we're good.
You think we're good?
This is
it's a very disturbing topic. But one more thing I'm going to tell you on this. Okay, I collaborate with other people on this stuff. Chemists and people like myself are working diligently trying to find a solution. And I get people who are professional that contact me, and they tell me, like I said, one who's doing blood testing and other people. You got to work together, man. Okay. I don't give a rat's backside what your color is. I can give a rat's backside about that. I can give a rat's backside what your belief systems are. Whether you believe in some new age thing or some traditional belief system. This is killing everybody. And you need to brainstorm together. Get over these separate differences, because you're going to get your ass handed to you as long as you keep yourself separate with that mentality. Okay. Brain power. Okay. When human beings get together, there's almost nothing that they can't solve when they work together. They're always fighting, man. You can't get nothing done. And this is a direct attack on all of us. The banks and the globalists don't give a shit about you. They could care less. And then they got you, you know, these commercials. Oh, we got soy milk here for you. Good for you. Yeah. And why is it? Now think about this for 1 minute. For you men, for you guys, think about this for 1 second. Why is it now you have to get a blue pill to get erected? I used to do that without blue pills. I can still do that without blue pills. Why do I need to go to a drugstore to get a blue pill to give me an erection? What's wrong with that picture? They're taking everything that the body can do naturally and putting it in a pill. Then you take that blue pill, oh yeah, and then they tell you, well, if you're erected for more than 4 hours, you'll go see a doctor. I've never understood that one either. I mean, is she a redhead or what? What's she going to do? What is she going to do? You know, seriously. First, you can't get an erection if you got one for 4 hours. I think if a guy had an erection for 4 hours, he'd be, wow, that's amazing. You know? But again, why do you need a blue pill to get erected? Why do you women need a pill to have sex? See, you should be asking these questions. Okay, why is that part of you being cut out? Why are you having problems up here? Why are you having problems with breathing? Why are you having problems with the thyroid? Why are you having problems up here?
Yeah, and even as you're talking, it's starting to become normal. It's starting to become expected.
Yeah.
This is now, you know, taking a pill for that stuff is almost like, I'm just getting to that age. I'm getting to that stage of life where this is now what's expected.
Well, then now they're having guys putting androgel on, which is a form of testosterone cream, right? And then they got a guy dressing up in this. I see this when I go to my mom's. I watch the stock market. And on the stock market, every commercial is about sex, right? Viagra and androgel for the men, and they got something for the women now. You know, here, take a pill. You'll be just, you know, you'll be a raving nympho, and you guys, you'll be a, you know, porn star. Take this pill, and you're up, and she's up, and you're ready to, you know, whatever. And then you're having painful sex because you've got glyphosate poison going on, and this is the androgel. You put it on, and they're putting it on here instead of their ass, where it should go, you know, because it's got to slowly absorb. You put it right here, man. You're getting 1,001% of the stuff, and then you wonder, well, I got cancer of the lymphatic, I got cancer of the endocrine system. How did that happen? Oh, maybe I took too much. Okay, so when we're dealing with this here, okay, use your head, work together, come on, and come up with ideas. No idea is a stupid idea. Experiment with your idea. Explore your ideas. Don't let anybody dissuade you. Okay, I showed you what I have seen with what I've been dealing with, and I've been exposed. So I can tell you for a fact, if I hadn't been exposed, I would never believe this was even possible. But now I feel the wrath of this thing. Okay, and I've been getting it down. So let's, instead of fighting somebody because of a visual distortion, you know, now all the Muslims are terrorists. You know, all you Muslims are terrorists. You know, you're yelling Allah Akbar, which means God is great, and you're going to kill people with a sword. This is television. This is television. This is bullshit. All of it. You know, just like, you know, hating Christians. Really? You get a theme here that they're trying to get after people who have a belief in God. Might want to examine this. Okay. There you have it. Come up with ideas. I've given you some. You got to clean out the glyphosates. I would say the glyphosates are probably 90% of the problems you're dealing with today is tied to that. And until that's out of the system, and the doctors are not going to get it out of you, that's for sure. They don't even know, no, you're perfectly fine. They run the scope up your backside. Hey, oh, no, you're good. Meanwhile, you're dying of, you know, intestinal cancers, you know. Or they check your heart. And the biggest thing they scare everybody, you got high blood pressure, you're going to die. 130 over 80, that's high. It's normal. But anyway, come up with ideas. Work together. You know, it can be beaten if everybody works together. All right. I think we've pretty well killed this one too, eh? I got my little board here. All right. Notice we don't consent. I didn't give him my permission to do this. You know, so till the next segment, don't consent. From Dave and myself, to your else.